Good morning, welcome. So today we have a new format for our class. So we will see how this goes. This is the first time trying our new meditation class format. We'll be doing a few different meditations today instead of just doing stabilizing the mind. So the first thing that we do whenever we sit down to meditate is we establish our intention for our practice. So we always start by generating compassion for all sentient beings and making the wish that our meditation practice will bring benefit to them. So we'll take a moment to do that now to give rise to bodhicitta, the compassionate wish to free all sentient beings from suffering. Okay, and then we'll say the opening prayers. We'll say these 3 times in Tibetan. Om Organ Yogi Num Jansam Pemage Sardompola Yatsen Chogi Ngorupne Pema Jone Jesura Ordu Kandro Mangpo Por Ketki Jesu Dak Druki Jinji Lop Chir Shek Su So Guru Pema Siddhi Home Organ Yogi Num Jansam Pemage Sardompola Yatsen Chogi Ngorupne Pema Jone Jesura Kordu Kandro Mangpo Por Ketki Jesu Dak Druki Jinji Lop Chir Shek Su So Guru Pema Siddhi Home Organ Yogi Num Jansam Pemage Sardompola Yatsen Chogi Ngorupne Pema Jone Jesura Kordu Kandro Mangpo Por Ketki Jesu Dak Druki Jinji Lop Chir Shek Su So Guru Pema Siddhi Home. Right. So in today's class, we'll be doing 3 different types of meditation today. And these meditations are ones that you can practice whether you are Buddhist or not Buddhist, and they are intended to stabilize your mind and open your heart. So the first meditation that we'll be doing today is called Shamatha meditation, or calm abiding meditation. And what is meditation? Meditation is the natural state of mind when it is relaxed, stable, and open. When our mind is calm and settled, there is a spaciousness that allows us time between action and reaction. The trouble is that our minds are rarely calm and settled, and they're usually just running wild like monkeys. And when the mind is too agitated like that, it's too wound up or out of control, the mind controls you rather than the other way around. But the mind is like a muscle. So just like we work out to keep our bodies strong, we can also train our minds to be calm and relaxed while also being alert and wakeful. And the point of Shamatha meditation is to create space in the mind, which helps us to balance our emotions and gives us that time between action and reaction. And this spaciousness is the first step in the development of bodhicitta, which is the compassionate wish to free all sentient beings from suffering. So that spaciousness is very important. So this is a very simple practice. All we do is rest our attention on our breath. You can also do this meditation with your focus on a flower or a candle or a picture of the Buddha, instead of the focus being your breath. So we'll take a comfortable seat. You can do this meditation sitting in a chair or sitting cross-legged on the ground. And place your hands in your lap, gently relaxed. You can, traditionally, we hold one hand in the other with the thumbs touching, and place the hands so the thumbs are just below the navel. You can also just rest your hands on your thighs. And check in with your posture. Make sure your spine is straight. Your shoulders are back. Your elbows are out a bit away from your body, so there's room around your rib cage for you to breathe. And your eyes will remain open, looking downwards. You can imagine a line following the bridge of your nose and extending down to the floor. And find a point along that line where it's comfortable to rest your gaze. And then place the tip of your tongue right behind your front teeth. It's like saying the letter L. And allow yourself to relax completely and breathe normally. Settle into your natural rhythm of breathing. And then put a very light attention on your breath. Don't try to control it at all. Just breathe naturally with the most gossamer thin attention on your breath. It's like taking your pulse. You don't put any pressure on it, just observe it. Your attention is like a feather, gently riding on the surface of your breath. Now, as you meditate, thoughts will come up, and that's okay. When thoughts come up, just let them go like bubbles popping on the surface of a pond. Don't even look to see what they are. Just let them pop. Your meditation is not lost by hearing your thoughts, but by following them down the road. So when you find yourself following a thought, just drop it and return to your breath. Your attention is like a feather, gently riding on the surface of your breath. So that was our warm-up round meditation. So we're going to try that again now for a little bit longer. So as you're meditating, your distractions might appear as a lot of noise. There's a lot of commotion happening in the room with us today. Also, sometimes your distractions are internal, sometimes they're external. No matter what it is, we just bring our attention back to the breath. And if it's really difficult for you to dismiss your thoughts, you can imagine cutting them up with scissors and throwing them away, or you could imagine picking them up with tongs and dropping them. But we always just drop the thought and return to that single pointed concentration. We return again and again to the Gossamer attention on your breath. So let's go. So we'll do that same meditation for a few more minutes. Attention is like a feather, gently riding on the surface of your breath. Okay, now that we have spacious, stable minds, we're going to develop our hearts. So the next meditation that we're going to do is the practice of Tonglen, or giving and receiving. And this meditation is done to develop our compassion and our ability to be present for our own suffering and the suffering of others. This practice trains us to use the energy of loving kindness to open our hearts to suffering and transform it into well-being. In this practice, we imagine taking the suffering of others into ourselves and sending them our happiness. And this is a mental exercise. In the immediate present, doing this meditation is not going to remove anyone's suffering or save them from cancer or anything like that. But by doing this practice, we gradually cease to cherish ourselves over others. And we develop a stronger wish to benefit other beings, eventually leading to the ability to help all beings with equanimity. And then we can give all beings happiness and relieve their suffering. So sitting in meditation posture, begin by envisioning one or two beings for whom you easily feel compassion, whose suffering particularly touches you. This could be your parents, a sibling, your partner, your child, a friend, your dog or cat, anyone for whom you easily feel compassion. Just consider who that could be. One or two beings for whom you easily feel compassion. And contemplate their misery and put yourself in their place, imagining what their experience must be like and giving rise to compassion. Cultivate in your heart the fervent wish to relieve their suffering and secure their happiness. And then bring your attention to your breath. Follow the natural rhythm of your breath. As you breathe in, visualize that as you inhale through your nose, you take in all of the causes and conditions of their suffering in the form of black smoke. Imagine that they become completely free of misery. As you breathe out, visualize that you are sending and they are receiving all of your positive and loving qualities and all conceivable sources of enduring happiness as radiant, pure light, bringing them limitless joy. You might think as you breathe in, may you be free of suffering. And as you breathe out, may you be happy. So we're just going to do that meditation for a few minutes. As we inhale, taking in all of the causes and conditions of their suffering in the form of black smoke. And as we exhale, sending, and they receive all of our positive and loving qualities, all conceivable sources of enduring happiness as radiant, pure light. Now we're going to repeat this again, but this time visualize one or two people for whom you feel intense anger or aversion. One or two people for whom you feel intense anger or aversion. You can remember these people, just like us, want to be happy. They may not be acting in ways that will actually bring them happiness, but they want to be happy just like us. So picturing someone for whom you feel intense anger or aversion, you visualize inhaling. As we inhale through our nose, we take in all of the causes and conditions of their suffering in the form of black smoke, and they are completely free of misery. And as we breathe out, we send them all of our positive and loving qualities, all sources of enduring happiness, as radiant, pure light. Now expand your visualization to include all those for whom you have similar feelings of anger or aversion. Thinking of all those for whom you feel anger or aversion. We inhale their suffering, and as we exhale, we send them happiness. As your meditation deepens and your heart opens, you can gradually increase the scope of your visualization when you do this practice. You can gradually increase the scope of your visualization to include larger and larger groups of people until your loving kindness and compassion embrace all beings throughout existence, with no distinction between friends and enemies. So now we're going to do a guided meditation written by Jetsama Akan Lamo called the Light Expansion Prayer. All right. Let us become still. Take a deep breath and let it out slowly. Again. Let us center deep within. Center deep within. Deep within to the presence of the Absolute. And there is radiance. The presence of the Absolute increases and expands to embrace the physical body. And all of the physical body is filled with the presence of the Absolute. The presence of the Absolute increases and expands to fill our beings on all dimensions. And all that we are is filled with the radiance of the Absolute. The presence of the Absolute increases and expands to fill everyone here. And everyone here on all dimensions is filled with the presence of the Absolute. The presence of the Absolute increases and expands to embrace this building. And all of this building is filled with the light of the Absolute. The presence of the Absolute increases and expands to embrace this nation. And the government of this nation is filled with the radiance of the Absolute. And the people of this nation are one life. The presence of the Absolute increases and expands to embrace planet Earth. All nations and all governments are filled with the presence of the Absolute. And there is peace. And the 8 billion are one life, radiant. The presence of the Absolute increases and expands to fill this galaxy. All planets, all stars, and all life forms are within the embrace of the Absolute. The presence of the Absolute increases and expands to embrace the universe. All dimensions and all kingdoms are filled with the presence of the Absolute. And in all the universe, there is only one life. Now, as we return our consciousness back to physical form, we continue to embrace all that is and to know union, that we are one. And then we'll close our practice with dedication prayers. Throughout my many lives and until this moment, whatever virtue I have accomplished, including the merit generated by this practice, and all that I will ever attain, this I offer for the welfare of sentient beings. May sickness, war, famine, and suffering be decreased for every being, while their wisdom and compassion increase in this and every future life. May I clearly perceive all experiences to be as insubstantial as the dream fabric of the night, and instantly awaken to perceive the pure wisdom display in the arising of every phenomenon. May I quickly attain enlightenment in order to work ceaselessly for the liberation of all sentient beings. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas altogether, whatever kind of motivation you have, whatever kind of beneficial action, whatever kind of wishing prayers, whatever kind of omniscience, whatever kind of life accomplishment, whatever kind of benevolent power, and whatever kind of immense wisdom you have, similarly, I, who have come in the same way to benefit beings, pray to attain these qualities. By this effort, may all sentient beings be free of suffering. May their minds be filled with the nectar of virtue. In this way, may all causes resulting in suffering be extinguished, and only the light of compassion shine throughout all realms. Thank you.